Well, the best part is that you had to play your first game at some point, and we now have that beyond us. Not in obviously a fashion that you would want to be in, but the the older, stronger, really physically stronger guys for them dominated the game. They had 65 points from their three front court guys who we feared coming in, and then Dixon gets 11, so that's 76 from their four older. Certainly somebody can come into that environment and shoot 72%, 67% of their baskets be on assist. They played good basketball, and we played skittish. So, but we all played skittish. So now it's beyond you, and get back to work on Sunday to prepare for a game Tuesday night on the road. And that's a whole different set of emotions that you have to deal with.
So what positives can you take out of this game?
Just that it's over. Just that the first game's over. There's a lot of opportunity to teach. A lot of opportunity to teach, which is what it should be on November the 12th. There should be real opportunities to teach, and they will present themselves. And have presented themselves, right, to be honest with you.
You ran a lot of different combinations out there. Does some seem to work better than others?
I'll have to break it down. I break it down into 4-minute segments. I'll break that down tonight. Take a look at where a combination kind of fit together, or what I have to do to make a combination fit together. And we were just looking and searching.
Coach, where did your decision to start three freshmen come from? Just a hunch or something that you felt before game time?
No, in the front court, it was to go with one of the freshmen because then you're putting two freshmen into the game, as opposed to kind of coming in with an older guy. In the backcourt, Langston clearly won a position, and then it really got down to whether to start Darius or Justin. And I just like the longer look that we would have with Darius at this point. That could change for Tuesday. That's the beauty with this group, is that we don't have to sit there and say, well, that's a starter. And I feel comfortable about the players accepting the fact that there's not really starters, there's players here. And that's why I say, what I just said to them is, hey, everybody got it handed to them. So how we respond now is how we kind of build this team.
Isn't the skittishness and the errors and all, isn't that pretty much what you were anticipating, given your youth?
Well, I thought it would be at the offensive end more than at the defensive end. Like, I think defensively, we just threw each other out on an island and said, I hope you do a good job there. And some of it, Phil, to be honest with you, is the first game of the year, and really not knowing exactly what, really being able to zero in and break down a team and say, this is how we're going to attack. I really thought that there were times where they just kind of isolated and said, you know what, we're going to take this guy and kind of dribble at. Offensively, the skittishness to me was like shot selection. I mean, there were plays where the ball wasn't even settled in people's hands. We hadn't even made an attempt at a play yet. And we're kind of, indiscriminately shooting the ball. So that part, I actually thought we would be more tentative in shooting the ball. I thought we would be more selective because there would be more nervousness on the offensive end, but that wasn't the case.
Coach, it seems, especially in the second half, that Western Kentucky got a lot of easy buckets and we struggled for every inch. How do we, going on the next couple of games, start getting easier buckets?
Well, one of the things you have to do is get stops. We have to play this team, our team has to play in open floor. And if you score, if the other team scores, and they were 21 for 29, right? They missed, they're 14 for 18 on twos in the second half. So if they score and you're taking it out of the net, you're always facing defense, that's not going to be advantageous for our group this year. So we have to have more of a defensive mindset, particularly going up. You know, the Penn State team has 75% of their scoring returning from last year. So we have to have a defensive mindset. Once we have the defensive mindset, then we can kind of, and in the flurries that we had, the flurries occurred because we were able to keep coming at them a little bit in the first half. But we didn't in the second half because we were always taking the ball out of the net.
Phil, which is easier for such a young group, to get that defensive mindset or to get settled on offense?
I think it's easier to get settled on offense because when you're young, you've been able to guard because of athletic ability. Well, all of a sudden we didn't have the, you know, look at position by position, we didn't have the better athlete. So you really have to drill it down and have a team concept. That's what as I'm sitting right now, I'm saying, God, we left each other just alone, and said, you know, I hope that this guy can be successful defensively.